Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, and today's podcast, it'll probably be quite a short one. I'm riffing again, so we'll see how we go. This one is actually about passive income again. I'm going to give you a bit more of an update of what I'm actually doing and how that's going. But I'm also going to try and give you some extra ideas so that you might have, where you might be able to earn some passive income and all that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And if you like this type of content, please contact me. doncostas@gmail.com. That's DONCOSTAS@gmail.com. Or you can go to my website and you can find my contact details there as well. Now, first off, I want to apologise how I sound in this particular podcast. I have unfortunately started to get a bit of a cold, so that's why originally I wasn't going to put a podcast out today, because I'm feeling a bit, well, let's be honest, shit. But I thought, you know what, I want to be there for you guys, and if I can give you any help during this time, I will. So, let's get on to it. The passive income. So, as you know, if you've listened to one of my previous podcasts in the last couple of weeks, I have started up a t-shirt business. I will be quite honest with you, I have not made any sales on this. Same as my affiliate marketing, I have not made any sales through my affiliate marketing. But the one thing the t-shirt business has taught me is I actually quite enjoy it. It's a good way to be creative and get my mind out there and actually do things that way. And as such, I have been continuing to make new designs and all those sorts of fun things. And this isn't a plug for you to go check out my website and get a t-shirt or anything like that. It's nothing like that. I'm just telling you that for me, for my mental health and my mental space at the moment, it's actually been really, really helpful to sort of get that creative output out there for the world to see, even if the world doesn't see it. So yeah, that's been quite cool. I know I haven't had any sales yet, but I'm still being optimistic that, you never know, things might happen. I might make that one design which makes people go, oh, that's really cool. Oh, let's grab that. Oh, yeah. And then they look into other designs and so forth. But now let's talk about some of the other things that you can do that might help generate you a bit of passive income. Now, all this that I've found out, I have learnt from audiobooks. I've learnt from YouTube, people like Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V, as they call him. If you haven't yet heard of Gary V, go onto YouTube, please, and search Gary V. The man is amazing. I've also listened to people like Tony Robbins with Unshakable, and basically just looking at general YouTube videos about passive income. There's been quite a few different things. So, with Gary V, one of the things he talks about is making your own personal brand. Now, that is actually one of the things I'm trying to do with my Costas Enterprises, because, of course, my last name is Costas. So, with trying to increase this, sorry, you'll hear a lot of rain on the roof. I am trying to increase my personal brand so that basically I'm giving away my CV stuff for free. Part of it is because of the fact that, I want to get myself out there and let people know about it. But the main reason I'm doing that, as I've told you all, is because I used to work for the benefit. I used to work for Work and Income, which is basically the New Zealand benefit system. So after working for Work and Income for as long as I have, I found that there were some issues with... So before I worked for them, I actually used to be a client. So I used to be one of the people that was on a beneficiary, and I was a beneficiary on the benefit system for about 2 years. being realistic. I mean, I know if we're being exact, it was more like, 1 year, 8 months, but let's call it 2 years to be sure. And during that time, I got offered someone to make a CV for me. I got offered people to do examples for me, and I would sit through and I would do them. Now, Work and Income at that time did actually charge me, so that you would pay $10 every pay, or in this case it was every week, out of your benefit payment, and that would cover the cost of you getting this CV and this cover letter. And I remember looking at the cover letter and the CV, and because I just sort of entered the workforce, I thought, oh yeah, this is quite cool, this is quite great. And then, after working at Work and Income for 5 years and actually looking at my CV and going, hey, I need to apply for a new job, I was quite taken aback by the generalness of the actual CV and the cover letter, and they didn't look very good. Okay, they were pretty shit. Let's not beat around the bush. They were very basic. They didn't show off half the skills that I was trying to show, and so when I got a job at Work and Income, and I was doing that for 5 years, during that time, I actually had people come up to me and ask me to help make CVs for them, because I just happened to have a good way with that sort of thing. And I would look at someone's CV and go, oh, that doesn't look too good. Maybe you need to do this, maybe you need to do that. And this was all before I started working on people's CVs full time. So what I decided to do was I would test myself and go through things and look at what it was that I was actually creating and seeing if I could make them better. And I seemed to be doing pretty well. Like, the people that were applying for jobs, that were working with me, that were using my CVs, were at least getting to the interview. And I thought, if I could do that for these people, the people that are working for the beneficiary system, I could do it for myself. So I did. I created myself a nice CV, a good cover letter, and I moved on up to immigration, which is another part of the New Zealand government. And during my time there, I did the same thing. If someone would be like, hey, look, I'm applying for a new job, and I'd be like, oh, look, let me have a look at your CV. And I would change their CV completely. And once I'd changed it, I was getting people going, hey, I managed to get an interview with that, thank you very much. And so I felt quite good about myself, and knowing that I could make a good CV, make a good cover letter. And during that time at immigration, I just picked up more and more things like, hey, this would be a good thing to put in there. Hey, this would be a great thing. And I sought information from managers and recruiting managers, and basically narrowed my business down a bit to what I could actually do and hopefully make things work well. So I fine crafted everything, and that went on for a good, 5-6 years, till I started looking for other jobs. And when I found other jobs, then, I at that time was like, I think I could make a business out of this. I'm quite good at it. And so this whole business that I'm doing, this is my side business. This is my Costas Enterprises is my side business. But it wasn't until I started watching a bit of Gary Vee, and he was talking about giving away your content for free. And I also heard the same thing from Tony Robbins. Create your content for free. Don't worry about charging people, because I was intending to charge people. Now, I was going to charge them a lot less than what you would get charged normally. So if you were buying a CV or a cover letter, in New Zealand, the standard price, believe it or not, is $200 each. So $200 for a cover letter, $200 for a CV, $200 for interview. I was planning on charging $200 for everything. So that was a CV, a cover letter, interview skills, and a mock interview itself. Now, of course, I didn't end up. I've only sold like 1 or 2 of those, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. When I started listening to Tony Robbins and Gary Vee, I realized that what I could do is I could give away the stuff for free, and if people want to hear more about it, they can. And then it dawned on me that I used to be a beneficiary, and I remember how hard it was, because when you're on the opposite side, people that are case managers, some of them, they're very, very hard, and they make it very hard for you to get a job. They just basically demean you a little bit. They think that you may not be able to get a job. They think you may not be able to be good enough. And I honestly didn't like that. I know that if anybody had a chance, they would be able to get a job, given that they represent themselves the right way. So part of why I'm doing this now, the main part I'm doing this now and giving it away for free, is because I want people to be able to get a job. I don't want people to, be stuck at home feeling that they can't get a job because their case manager or society makes them feel like they can't do it. So part of my quest of this whole process of what I'm doing is I intend to take 1 to 2 days off, hopefully every couple of months, and go and give free seminars, free CVs, free cover letters to people that need help, that work in the Wellington region, because that's where I am, for work and income. Now, I have to talk to people about that and get that all sorted, and that is one of the things that I do plan to do, hopefully in the next sort of 3 months, and I'll keep you updated about that as well, because I do think it'll be really, really helpful. And I'm going to basically give away all the stuff that I'm teaching you guys for free to them in person and try to get them a job, because if they can get a job, well, that means I'm doing my job well. So that is one part of Costas Enterprises. The other part, as you know, as I just said, is the t-shirt business, or the print-on-demand service, which I'm also doing as a little bit of a side hustle, and, anything I can do to make a couple of dollars, it's going to be good. And even though I haven't sold anything yet, I'm hoping that at one point in time that will change and things will go well. All I can do is hope. But it got me thinking about other things that I can do, or other things that anybody can do to do these sorts of side businesses. Now, I've already talked about Sweatcoin, which is a way that you can, step your way to $1,000 in your own currency, which is quite cool, considering, all you have to do is basically walk. I mean, it's not that hard. You could also do the t-shirt business exactly like I'm doing, or the print-on-demand service. You could also look at one of the other things that people do, like we've talked about affiliate marketing before, affiliate marketing in the form of Amazon and all that sort of things. But there is other affiliate marketing you can do. You can also create YouTube content and, link them to e-learning courses. If you do that, bear in mind that you have to be really, really careful with the content that you're creating, because, you don't want to be offering something that someone's not going to enjoy. And then you would get a cut of the people that sign up to the course, for example. All of this is searchable on YouTube, I'll be honest. You can just search up passive income, and there's thousands and thousands of videos of what it is you can do. The other thing people do is they talk about stocks. You can put money into shares and investments and funds and stocks. I will admit I am actually investing stuff in a New Zealand company called Sharesies. And what Sharesies is it's a website where you can buy into New Zealand stock market, as well as some funds as well, so some ETF funds. And while I haven't got a lot invested just as yet, because I've only been doing it a couple of months, I am noticing some returns, which is quite good. And it's nice to be able to put money into New Zealand shares and make it feel like our economic turmoil isn't completely bad. But it is also quite good being able to look at the shares and see what goes up, what goes down, what's got a 5-year trend and so forth. Now, a lot of this is thanks to my girlfriend and my partner who basically has taught me about these things. Not so much the t-shirt business, but more so getting me to go out, make my own business with Costas Enterprises and all those sorts of things. And that's been quite helpful and quite good. But also she's been the one that told me about Sharesies. And when I looked into it a bit more, I realised that it wasn't a scam at all. It was actually legit. And because of that, I went, oh yeah, I can do that. That's quite cool. And I got to admit, I am quite enjoying it as well. So, yeah, you can invest in shares. And if you don't want to invest in shares, you can also invest in things like bonus bonds or Kiwi bonds or government super bonds, which are more of a low-risk investment. The main thing is make sure that you guys probably would have heard the famous phrases, diversify your portfolio. That is exactly true. Make sure that if you are buying any shares or any investments, you don't put them all in the one basket, okay? Because if one of those goes, you're up a creek without a paddle, let's put it that way. Whereas if you diversify, or maybe you invest in mutual funds or electronic trading funds, then when you do that, you're actually investing in an index fund, which is a group of different companies and businesses. So you don't actually put all of your money in one grouping. And there are some very good funds out there that you can get. There's the US Vanguard 500 fund, which is the top 500 companies, meaning that if one of those companies slips out and doesn't meet the top 500, it gets replaced by the next best thing, which is quite good. And that has had a slightly higher growth. There's also the large growth fund. There's a couple of New Zealand funds, which are starting to go up as well. And just putting a couple of dollars in every... I try to invest at least $100 every fortnight. And yeah, it's been going pretty well. I will admit, I quite enjoy it. Another thing that you can do is, if you're like me and you're trying to get your content out and all that stuff, you can, as I said before, you can do YouTube content, you can do your own podcast. And if you do have your own podcast, please hit me up. I would love to hear it. Same as your own blog service, you can write your own blogs and link to them and have affiliate marketing in there as well, so that you can earn some monetization of that as well. As I said just before, if you are trying your own side hustle, please hit me up. Flick me an email, doncostas@gmail.com. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you like about my content and what I can improve. Because if I can get better, I'm happy. Same deal with you. If you're okay with me giving you potentially constructive criticism, then hey, flick me a link. We'll go through it. I'll be completely open and honest with you, whether or not I think it's good, whether I think you need to focus on something. If I can help you better your content, like you can help me better mine, it's a win-win situation then, isn't it? Another option that people are also talking about is creating your own online course. So this is not something that I've decided to do just yet, but it is something that I have thought about, and basically it is creating a e-learning module or e-learning course through various providers. And then you would list those with certain agencies, and then every time someone enrolls to your course, you get a portion of the money, which is quite a cool little thing. And that can be pretty expensive depending on what it is that you're actually offering as a course. Now, most of those courses that you'll see are ones like e-learning courses in the form of, hey, how to build your business by such and such and such, or how to be an affiliate marketer and get thousands per day. Before you sign up to one of them, please just have a look at it first. Try to get as much information on there. See if there's something free out there as well, okay? Now, that's not to take away from the content creators that are creating that content, but the last thing I want to do is advise you to go, hey, look, you can look at these courses, and if you find something that's like, it's going to charge you $400 or $500, and you pay that, and you realize it's the same stuff you could have learned on YouTube, then, it is something there that you can look into. The main thing is research before you sign up to any of those courses, because 9 times out of 10, you will actually find other information somewhere else. Unless it is a specific course, which might be something like how to breed horses or something along those lines, and in which case you would want to do research on the person that's giving the course to make sure that they are actually a professional in that instance. Another option that people are talking about as well is also creating your own ebooks. Okay, you don't have to be an author of an actual book, you can just create an ebook. And if you create that ebook, you can actually monetize that on your site. Or you can even offer it for free and then send it out to publishers and try to get it published that way as well. So there are quite a few different ideas there. That's just a couple of what I've thought about. You may also be in the situation where you've got things like maybe if you're a baker, create your own Facebook group and advised to give out free samples. Advertising and marketing is a huge thing, but you have to do that for yourself. Your brand is important, so start putting money into your brand. Now that doesn't mean spending heaps of money on Facebook ads going, hey, look at my business. Try to go local first, unless you're going with an online demographic. Then you would want to stick with local, hey guys, especially if you are a baker or you are I don't know, maybe you do arts and crafts and you want to sell the crafts that you make. Advertise local, advertise on Facebook marketing, advertise on Trade Me if you're in New Zealand or if you're overseas. eBay or Etsy is a great one for your crafts and all that sort of stuff. So there's plenty of out there for you to do. You just have to think about it, but do some research. I would, as I said, strongly suggest having a look at YouTube, just typing in passive income. You could even be even more direct and go passive income around and the thing that you're wanting to create the passive income around. Because if you have a passion for something and you really want to show it, people may want to pay for it. Kind of unrelated, but also at the same time related. There's a show called Man vs. Food. Now, the reason I love this show, given that I am, slightly bigger, and now that I'm actually trying to lose weight, Man vs. Food, the best thing about that was the guy that was running it, Adam Richman, had a sheer passion for it. You fell in love with his character. You fell in love with the way that he was. It wasn't so much about him eating all the food that was there. It was him basically showing that, if you've got a passion for something, it's got to be even better. Same thing with Top Gear. Now, I am not a big car person, but Top Gear, the original Top Gear, with Richard Hammond, Jeremy Clarkson, and James May, the reason they come across so good is they have a sheer passion for cars. They get on well together. It's those sorts of things that if you've got a passion for something and you're willing to show it, you will draw people in. And I hope that comes across with me trying to help people is I want them to realize that I actually have a passion. I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to help people. I want to help people get jobs. And if I can do that in any way, I'm happy. So if you need help, contact me. doncostas@gmail.com. I know I keep saying it, I keep going to it, but being honest, if you really need help, if you're like, hey, look, Alex, I'm really, really stuck on this CV. I don't know what to do with it. Flick it through. Send me a quick email. Hey, I heard your podcast, or hey, I read your blog. I don't actually understand this part. Can you help me? My answer's going to be yes. So hit me up. Let me know how everything's going. Okay, that about does it for this particular episode. I hope I've given you some insight into other ways that you can do potentially passive income. And I hope one of you actually tries to follow through with it. And if you do, let me know how it goes. Flick me an email. Go along to my website, check out my things. Look at my t-shirt design. If you want to buy something, sweet as. If you don't, all good. Let me know what you think about my designs. But most importantly, go out there and be amazing. Good luck. And until next week, have a great day.